Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has presented her maiden budget in the Parliament on 5th of July, and many decisions taken by her are impacting the market, corporations and the economy. Thus, in the first episode of the News Roundup, we are tracking all the news that have been making headlines during the last 1 week ever since the budget is presented. The big news that we have been tracking this week is about the super rich tax on the foreign portfolio investors. As we know, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has proposed to hike the surcharge imposed on income tax paid by super rich people, and thus this hike is applicable on every individual, association of persons, body of individual, domestic or foreign. Thus there is a fear that capital gain taxes may rise. However, the Association of Persons falls under the mandate of the new tax proposal, and it is estimated that around 1500 to 2000 foreign portfolio investors are going to get affected by the hike in the surcharge on income tax paid by super rich people. Also, a quick analysis by the Finance Ministry shows that there are around 40% of the foreign portfolio investors, those who follow the trust structure, are going to get impacted due to the levy of the surcharge on income tax paid by super rich people. But the picture is still not clear, because the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has refused to provide an immediate clarification on the FPI issues, and she said that clarification is not something that is required as of now, and she would rather prefer to answer the questions in the Parliament. Another news that we are moving on to can bring a broad smile on your face, because State Bank of India, which is India's largest public sector bank, has reduced the MCLR, that is marginal cost on fund-based lending rate, that has come down from 8.55% to 8.40%. That means that SBI has reduced its MCLR by 5 basis points. That means the home loans and the retail loans are going to get cheaper for the customers. Aim to pass the benefit of the rate cut of the RBI to the customers. Thus, it will impact a larger population, as the retail loan, home loan are going to get cheaper for them. Moving on to the third big news, that is about the sovereign bond. Nirmala Sitharaman has become the first finance minister who agreed to borrow in foreign currency to finance the fiscal deficit. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in her maiden budget on 5th of July made this announcement that the government is now going to borrow in foreign currency to finance the fiscal deficit of the country. Currently, the external debt of the country is a bit low. Thus, Nirmala Sitharaman has decided to borrow a part of the funding requirement of the country from the overseas market in foreign currency. But the move potentially makes the country's finances vulnerable. Moving on to the next news, another decision by Nirmala Sitharaman has hit the many IT companies and the corporations such as Wipro and Infosys. As the Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman in the current budget has imposed 20% of the tax on the stock buybacks. That will put the brake on what could have been a wonderful year for the stock repurchases. Buybacks help improving the earning per share of the company, but this opportunity is no more available. Now the companies will have to move on to distributing the dividends where the tax liability is lower. This decision of imposing 20% tax on stock repurchases is going to impact many corporations, and 100 billion on stock repurchases that is in progress. So the big corporations like Infosys and Adani groups, those who were looking forward for a stock repurchases, will get impacted by this decision.